Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on Filmspiration. For all of you out there in Filmspiration land, if you haven't done so, please hit subscribe as well as that little bell. That way you're notified next time I make a new video. So I've got a really, really special treat. It's definitely a treat for myself. I've got two gentlemen from Octavia Social Media Strategies. Gentlemen, for all of you out there in Filmspiration land who are not familiar with Octavia Social Media Strategies and or yourselves, go ahead and give us a little intro, who you guys are, what you guys do.
Absolutely. Hello, my name is Andre Jones, and I'm the CEO of Octavia Social Media Strategies, where we are a fully equipped, your one-stop shop for design and development of all of your marketing needs, where we design our own, we create, with a combination of storytelling, your perfect marketing solution. And we do this in multiple ways, through content creation. Maybe it's through content marketing. Maybe it's through social media marketing. Maybe it's through video marketing. Whatever it is, we are the one-stop shop to help you be seen, be known, and be the expert in your field.
Perfect. Garen.
My name is Garen Ard, and I work for Octavia Social Media Strategies as well as a filmographer. I'm also doing the editing for it as well. And I'm also the head of video marketing there as well.
Perfect, gentlemen. So I'm really pumped to be able to talk to you guys, because the power of social media, the fact that basically, I can't even use the future sense, but the world is right here and we all know it. The importance of social, I mean, cannot be overstated, but I've noticed that there's so many people that still push back on this, even people, in my case, in the filmmaking realm, who shouldn't be. And so to have the opportunity to talk with you guys about, what you guys specifically do, what you guys specifically offer the world is definitely a rare treat for me. So let's go ahead and jump into a lot of topics you guys wanted to bring to the table. So how did Octavia Social Media Strategies come about? How did you start, Andre, with saying, you know what, this is what the need is, this is the direction that I need to go?
Absolutely. Actually, so my story starts back in the early 90s, believe it or not, maybe even earlier than that, from as long as I can remember. I loved the idea of television and commercials, really. Commercials always caught my eye. And I'm a type of person who's very sound sensitive. So if a commercial sounded right, when I was a kid, I would pick it up and I would be able to retort exactly what ad or everything else. One of my favorite commercials here in Tucson was, if you really like chimichangas. No, if you really like chimichangas, come to Gordo's.
Gordo's. I still come across a lot of old school commercials. Sorry to interrupt. I still come across that commercial and a lot of other old school commercials in the TV industry. When you talk about things with other old timers in the TV industry of like old businesses that, this is what the commercial used to look like.
Yes. Yeah. And they did it in such a way, because there was no internet back in the 80s and 90s. They did it in such a way that it really captured the attention and the imagination of the person. Like there's another one. I was a big fan of Zorro.
I know where you're
lore of Zorro when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And there's that, what was it? I think it was Southwestern Paint. I think it was.
Caramba!
Southwestern Paint? like it was that over the top type of marketing that really caught my attention. And I would really feel the commercial. I would really feel it. So I gained a very good way of feeling what commercials and advertisement, what good advertisement was and bad advertisement was, from a very, very young age. The evolution of it actually started again even more when I love professional wrestling. I think it's so much fun to watch. And the reason why is because it goes back to the commercials, right? They're so over the top. They want to become memorable. They want you to really remember them. And so with that and continuing to watch wrestling, when I went to school, when I went to college, actually, I went in for creative writing. And then as I went on for creative writing, I went into sociology. I got a bachelor's degree in sociology, a master's degree in educational psychology. Then turned around and went back to school again for a bachelor's of science in computer science and statistics. And the love that I had of computers and technology and understanding that this, like you said, this is the future, which was force fed to me by my father, who at the age of 4, I thought I was going to get this beautiful Voltron toy that my cousin got that was just amazing and metal and just beautiful. I got a little computer. Like, legit. And my dad never stopped pushing computers on me. He never stopped.
Yeah.
And spot where I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I was already doing IT work, and I'm loving IT work. I've already designed websites since the early 2000s. I was trying to figure out how to combine all of this. Well, what I really got to see was the growth of digital marketing and digital strategy. And I had time to play around with it because I had an employer who wanted me to do nothing but play around with it. When I saw that this was a need, that's when I went back to school for my computer science and statistics degree. So that way I can learn more about it, have a degree under it, so that way I can battle it quickly. And it started off with Octavia Social Media Strategies, just doing web design. We were actually called Octavia Tech at one point. And then as soon as we got done with the website, it was like, okay, now what? I still want to help this person get out there because a website's not enough.
Yeah.
And then we went into social media. Okay, it was still not enough. Then we went into video, and we've just expanded based upon the need of the customer. Going back to the Zorro, going back to the, come the Gordos, what can we do to really enhance our customer? Because they need to have a fighting chance. And if they don't have a website or social media, there's no business. There is no business whatsoever. So that's basically how we started. We started off with a team of 6, and now we're at a team of 20.
Wow.
And we're all brilliant in so many different ways, and we all work together so nicely that it's a place, when you come to the office, it's a place of creativity. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a place of creativity and not a lot of what you see in other marketing firms. We are glued together by love of what we do, and a love and commitment to what Octavia is going to be, as well as a love to our customers to make sure that they enjoy life, which is our motto. Our motto is to make sure our clients, as well as ourselves, fully live and enjoy life. That's the whole reason why we're doing what we're doing.
You
So
guys,
that's how I started.
And when could you say the origins or your origins of Octavia Social Media Strategies were, or Octavia? Would you say it was Tech, Octavia Tech?
It was Tech. Yeah, we were Octavia Tech. 2015 is when that started. I actually had, believe it or not, Edgar, I had this brilliant idea of opening up this firm, and actually I thought I was crazy. And believe it or not, I went to one of my friends and said, okay, I'm going to tell you my idea. I think it's crazy. And if you think it's crazy too, you are allowed to put me in a mental health hospital, because I think it's too good to be a good idea. It's too good of an idea to work.
Yeah.
And he heard it and he was like, nope, it's good. I'm like, okay, I need a second opinion. So I went to someone else, said the same thing. And the more people said, no, it's a good idea, run with it. 2015, in September 15th, 2015, we started. And I actually just told my friends, I went back to school, took a break and went back to school and said, hey guys, I have this idea of designing this marketing firm. And then instead of my friends saying, yeah, that's a good idea, they're like, okay, we're in. What do you want us to do? We'll work for you.
Everyone was just pumped and hungry to do something.
They're right.
Wow.
Exactly. They saw the need. We saw what we had, and we wanted to grow. And out of the 6 that started, there's 2 who have survived with me the entire time. So
Two
yeah,
of
so
the
it went
original
from
6.
Yeah. So we went from Octavia Tech to Octavia Media to now Octavia Social Media Strategies.
Gentlemen, is there some sort of excitement? And because I use the word excitement because I experience an excitement when I make a piece of video for somebody else, and even if it's as in most recently, unfortunately, a memorial video that I made for a friend whose mom recently passed away. Is there some excitement, as there is for me, when you create a piece of media that when you see its effect, and that if it was effective at all, is there some excitement that comes along with that? Because like you said, like the Gordo's one, as long as I've been in Tucson, which has only been 19 years, that was before my time, and I still hear about that commercial because that's how effective it was, and that's exciting when I hear about the effectiveness. So there's got to be an excitement when you guys measure the effectiveness of a piece of content that you guys create.
So, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, you know, G is the videographer, right? He does a lot of the video and commercials of what we do. And what's so like, this man knows how to make me like scream and shout and holler. And I'm going to brag about him for like a couple seconds real quick.
Please
He
do.
he created this. You know, we also do radio and broadcast and podcast production as well. It's another thing that we do. And he created an ad. Harley said in 5 minutes, and Harley is our sound engineer, and he created it in 5 minutes, and I heard it finally yesterday. And for me, anytime I see something good that's gold, I shout, I bang on my desk, I am like clapping, I am just hooting and hollering when I hear it. Like I heard one yesterday. Like it's not only is it like exciting when the piece comes out, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this go. I know this is gold and I cannot wait to see this and see what the audience thinks.
Yeah.
And that's one piece, but the second piece, you know, the second piece is when we do release it to the audience and we see that video go crazy, just do amazing things on Facebook. That is when we're like, yeah, that was good. Yeah. That was really good. We had one client who did a video, like, I don't know, 50-second video. And that 50-second video reached over 10,000 people in 5 days.
Wow.
Like he didn't even say, I would say maybe a quarter of a page worth of text. But we did it in black and white. We had them against the wall. I mean, we propped this thing really good. It only took us 5 minutes to prop it. But man, it was just magic. Just magic when he did it. Magic when we saw the results. Just magic. G, do you feel the magic also?
Oh, I always feel the magic. And that's one of my favorite parts about it because it is magic. I feel that the best part about marketing is telling the story. And as Andre had mentioned earlier, he loved just the jingles. The jingles still survive long after the product or the business is gone. So we're talking about the Ay Caramba Southwestern Pates. Hey, that's all that. We remember the old woman throwing the tire through the window.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mr. B's. Mr. B's.
Yes.
Mr. B's has appliances and TV.
TV.
So,
you can sing the whole song if you like.
And those jingles, yeah. And the jingles, the fact that people were singing the jingles is just the same as people viewing viral videos today. And it sticks with you for the longest time. And he brings up a great thing because he loves the world of professional wrestling. I'm a part of the world of professional wrestling. So marketing is basically what we did. And this wasn't a team deal. You survived by what you did. So you either you swam or you drowned. So if you were not good at marketing, it showed. So I could go into a crowd, I could go into a ring with a completely fresh audience, and I could portray a bad guy. And the good storytellers can make the crowd boo them. I could walk into the same crowd, put a mask on, act like a good guy, and have the crowd cheer for me. It's a science. And when you understand this science, you're able to basically tell a story in such a way that is so captivating and so and gravitate to it. And you can see the results on the street. You can see the results, you know, just the way that we're talking about some of these old businesses. And it's like a euphoria that it brings to you because you think of good times when you're thinking about those good, you know, so it's all magic. He's absolutely right in calling it magic. And that's, I feel, what we do best.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, And going back what Garen is saying is that, you know, I know when a piece is good when it's telling a good story. When you're conveying a good story that touches me, moves me, and inspires me, you got them. You know, you got something amazing there. I'm, as the person who is the face of Octavia, I say that I have about 1 trillion stories of different things of my life when it comes to marketing, and it's still growing. And so one of the things that I have become very good at is becoming a storyteller and telling a good and compelling story very quickly. And that's basically what our marketing is telling a very good story very quickly. 50-second video and watch it go viral. That's good storytelling right there. That's basically the magic we make. Like Aaron was saying, we make magic through storytelling, and it's effective. Storytelling is the best way for people to learn and know exactly whatever points you want them to get. You know, that's the best way we learn, best way we grow up. You know, we grew up with stories. Yes. I Caramba Southwestern Paint. It was a storytelling. You know, it's a story of a story, right? A spoof of the story of Zorro, and that's what made it even better.
So gentlemen, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm hearing, the basics do have to be there, which is good storytelling, something strong, something memorable that's communicated, and even more so in a small amount of time. And it sounds like the only thing that has changed is the form at which, you know, we are all using smaller digital cameras to chop on laptops or desktops, and then distribute to the internet, right? So that's changed, but the basics still have to be there of telling.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think and here's the thing, and you know, I'll give you this. I would say 90% of the content on the internet is probably, I'll be very honest. 90% of the content on the internet is not really worth much. It really is not. However, there's that 10% of content that tells such a good story that will move the person on the other side of the screen, which is the biggest thing for us. Our job as a social media marketing company, as a marketing company, is to feel as if we are right there in the room with the other person.
Yeah.
That there is no difference of us either speaking to you in person or us being through Zoom or Google Meet or Facebook or Instagram. It won't matter the medium. You feel us. We're there. We're talking to you, and you can really, really sense that. So good content is hard to create. It's easy to create content, but it's hard to create that good storytelling content that really grabs people's attention and pulls them in.
Yeah, because there are so many, you know, from the videos that I've seen online with regards to how to design a commercial, it's a whole science. And even also from 17 years in the news industry, when I've gone on over to the other areas of the buildings of when I worked at Telemundo, Channel 13, then Channel 4, and I visit with the guys making the commercials, there is a science behind doing something in a small amount of time, a good story, it's memorable. Garen, like you said, the jingle, those are just 4 elements. There's also psychology that goes into it. And to be able to mesh so much into such a small amount of time and do it so effectively is like, when I see it done very effectively, I'm just like, damn, like that's really interesting. You know?
Yeah, you have no choice but to sit back and admire the work when it's done well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so gentlemen, so what comes next for Octavia? Octavia, I don't want to keep on messing it up. I believe I had been messing it up. Octavia social media strategies, because you said you guys are expanding into podcasts and then also also video, or let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're actually expanding into doing radio and podcasting production. So Edgar, I will be very honest with you. It's literally, I wake up and go, you know what I want to do now? You know what would be cool? And let's see if we can do it, and let's see what the benefits is, and let's just give it a good go college try. Because I believe you can create anything you want for your life. I'm a very big believer of that. And all it is just you going out there and doing it and recruiting the best people that you know, like, and trust.
Yeah, to pick up on that, I totally agree. Um, Doing that old college try. That's something that a lot of us, I think a lot of us hesitate to actually get to that point.
Yeah.
So, are we going to end? Are we going to cut? Or are we going to continue?
Hey gentlemen,
Edgar.
so I just got a message saying, we got 10 minutes left, etc. So I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay,
Um,
you got it.
but yeah, so
Andre, go back.
just to add on to that, Andre, I mean, I think that's awesome
Yeah.
because when most people don't want to try different ideas, different concepts, a lot of people are scared to try, or maybe scared to venture outside of what already currently works, to be able to try different things like a podcast or content in different forms. I think that openness, even if it doesn't quote unquote work, you're not going to know that it didn't work or why it didn't work or for what reasons unless you tried, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm always looking at how to benefit the customer. How else can we benefit the customer? And my transition to this actually is coming from, I'm also a professional DJ, and I was doing that for about a good 12 years before COVID-19 happened. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, this is a time for me to slow down on that, let my body really heal from being a professional DJ, because it does take out a lot of person to be a DJ. And how about I move into radio, because I know how to do it. I have written my own script for a podcast, which is All About the Win podcast, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what if I wanted, one of our clients was like, hey, I have this spot for a radio show. Is it possible that you can help me produce a radio show? Because I remember you saying you've done podcasts. I'm like, absolutely. It's like opportunity. I stepped the stage and opportunity fell on my lap. And so we have produced about 8, I think this is our 8th episode of what's called Get Your Barbecue On with Ken Alexander.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the frequent guests, Dr. Andre Jones, talking about my least to very little knowledge of grilling and barbecuing. But it's fun, I get to enjoy it. My client really, really enjoys it. And the transition from DJ to radio producer has been like one of the smoothest things I probably ever did. And it's fun. And I know I have more clients who are really wanting to do that as well and starting to think about their own ideas for their own show. So that's one of the ways that we have expanded into radio. The next expansion is with Garen here, is into film, and actually do more video, more ways to really tell a story and tell a message out there. I'll let G or Garen talk about it a little bit more.
Well, the film aspect is one of the funnest parts for me. And Edgar, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, considering that we both had worked on projects as well. And there's nothing like telling a story through film. Because I it's funny, I've never really been a fan of comic books, which is going to shock a lot of people. But I can make an animated storyboard like nobody's business. I can tell
Not a lie.
I
Not a lie.
And when you transition the animated storyboard into full length, into full film, there's a whole new magic that takes on. And like you said, be able to take the story and the images and the sounds that go along with it and the music, if you're scoring or whatever, and cram it into one small space and leave an impression on somebody's soul.
Yeah.
That's a gift. That's a real gift.
Wasn't
and
it
with Andre, what's that?
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. Wasn't it Maya Angelou that said people don't remember what you made them think, they remember how you made them feel? Something like that.
Someone said that.
Out,
Yes.
Right?
I know that saying, and it's true.
Yeah.
They may not remember your name or your face, but they'll definitely remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
absolutely.
I think when you do that, when you leave that impression, people won't even fully remember the story, but they'll instinctually say, okay, that touched my soul, or that, that touched a piece of me, in the inside, even if it's a 30-second commercial or an entire feature film. But yeah, people remember the way you made them feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And one of the things in order for us to get that is we have to really everyone we work with. So I always call myself the first stop before they can do anything else with the team, because I have to see how willing they are to transform their life in order to get the marketing they're looking for. And the first stage of transforming their life really is to understand their story and where they come from. Because without their story, we can't create pieces like Gary was talking about. We can't create a radio show. We can't create anything until we know what their story is. And believe it or not, we get a lot of pushback from people who are not want to expose their story for whatever reason that it may be. And I would tell them, the less you give us, the less effective your marketing is going to be. And so our job really is to really pull out their story. And what's so funny about it is that when we pull out the story and have them look at their own story, they look at it and they're like, wow, I did that? Yeah, you did. And you should be proud of yourself for it, because you did that. No one else in the room helped you with that. You did that. And so bringing that to their attention, and they grow, right? All of our customers grow because we're an evolution. We're always evolving into our next stage. And so to help them grow allows us to help them grow along with them and create different pieces of the story, right? We get to show different ways of the story. We get to show it through film. We get to show it through radio. So it's all about understanding what the full story is and pulling the pieces that are most engaging to put it out there in front of people. So that way they have an understanding. The people, their potential customers or their current customers or past customers, get to know them on a very human level.
And when you extract those very human details and it shows in the work or it leaks into the work, then I think the audience, either instinctually or very consciously, has that much more of a connection with the content.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Because they want to learn more. They become very curious about the person behind the screen. It triggers the fact that, why I really want to get to know this person. This person is someone who I can relate to. They get me. That's the most important piece. Like, they get me.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the same way, and they overcome this obstacle. Oh my gosh, they get me. Hey, yeah, I do want to save money. Yeah, I do want to repair my credit. And yes, that story that you told that you had credit cards and you just ran up all the credit cards and didn't know that you had to pay, and you didn't budget your money correctly and you didn't know that affected your credit. Yeah, that's me. That's totally me. And I want to know how to repair it because I'm ready for that transformation. One of the things that we say is that no one buys your product or service. What they're buying is the transformation that you're offering on the other side.
Mm.
Our focus is not on their product or service. Our focus is on that transformation that you're offering.
I like that, and that speaks to, I think that transformation comes through, as you gentlemen have pointed out, just sharing of that story, because before it speaks to, we're going to cut out in about 1 minute and 10 seconds, gentlemen. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my thought, and then we'll go ahead and cut out here. But basically, it speaks to now that we are in a world of it's to the benefit, where before the world it was to the benefit of holding that mystique and not sharing so much your story. Now it's to the benefit of sharing more of your story, and then there's more of a connecting point. Very, very quickly, gentlemen, in less than about 30 seconds, final closing messages with regards to Octavia's social media strategies.
When you're looking for a good marketing firm, I mean, you're really looking for a good marketing firm, come to Octavia Social Media Strategies. That's octavia.social.